The purpose of this video will be to talk about determining whether something is a function. So in particular, we want to solve the question here, whether z is a function of x and y when the equation we're presented with is xz squared plus 2xy minus y squared equal to 4. So we're wanting to determine if z is a function of x and y. That means we want z by itself. So let's start moving things away from the z term. So I have xz squared. The other terms don't have z, so I'm just going to move them over and get 4 minus 2xy minus y squared. Then divide both sides by x. I have z squared equal to 4 minus 2xy minus y squared all over x. Then, because I have z squared, I want to take the square root on both sides. So I'll say the square root of z squared is equal to the square root of 4 minus 2xy minus y squared all over x, all inside the square root. And the square root of z squared is the absolute value of z. Absolute value of z is equal to the square root of 4 minus 2xy minus y squared over x. And that means z is equal to the square root or negative z rather I should say z is equal to the negative of that square root. So right away I can see that I have two possibilities for z, and that's enough to conclude that z is not a function of x and y. Because if I put in one input, I can get two possible outputs. So for a single input, we get two possible outputs. And so it's not a function. And let's just do one example. If we chose the input x, y to be, say, 1 and 0, and I plug that in, then I would have z could be equal to square root of 4, or z could be equal to minus square root of 4. So of course that's z equals 2 or z equals negative 2. So for the same input of 1, 0, I have two possible outputs for z. So I conclude that z is not a function of x and y.